Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we will talk about the new GALAX GTX 1080Ti Hall of Fame. So the card was only announced like 1 or 2 days ago, but it's already going viral, and that's mainly because of the massive VRM design. The VRM design is special in the way that GALAX is marketing this card with 19 faces VRM, which is actually, well, quite a lot. And those 19 faces are not real faces. You actually have 8 faces native, and those faces for the GPU are doubled to 16, which is still better than only having 8 faces, obviously. And you also have 3 faces for the memory, so that's why you have 19 faces for the marketing. Having 16 faces instead of 8 allows to spread all the heat which is dissipating from the power stages across a bigger surface, so you can dissipate the heat to a bigger surface on the cooler. So that's actually a lot better, so you can get rid of the heat very well, and you for sure will not have any issues on the VRM. There will be no like heat spots or anything like this, so that's a very good design on the VRM for sure. Also, what I personally like is that they are using the international rectifier controller, and this controller allows to adjust the software, the voltage using software. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that GALAX will not provide this software to everyone, mainly extreme overclockers, I think. That's probably because NVIDIA will probably go really wild if GALAX would supply the software to everyone. I think that's against the current NVIDIA specs. So one guy left a comment on one of my latest videos and asked if this card is the overclocker's wet dream and if this is like the holy grail. Well, the card is really good from looking at the design, but it's for sure not the wet dream or the holy grail. So the thing is with Pascal GPUs is that those GPUs do not really scale with voltage or a stronger VRM. So it really does not matter if you have a reference design like this card, or if you have an Asus Strix or MSI Gaming or EVGA superclocked, something like this. For air overclocking, it really does not matter. It only depends on the individual GPU. The thing which matters the most for Pascal GPUs is the cooling. So put your focus on the strongest cooling. Well, the KFA has probably the strongest cooler on the market. Still, focus on the cooler first. So if you want to have the maximum OC and the most stable clocks all time, you should probably do water cooling, and it really doesn't matter if you have a reference design with water cooler or, for example, an Asus Strix. So don't be fooled by the marketing stuff. There will still be some GPUs on the GALAX Hall of Fame that cannot hit like 2 GHz or even 2.1 GHz, because I saw a lot of comments out there of people saying, so can all of the GPUs on the Hall of Fame card hit 2.1 GHz? Yeah, surely not. So that just depends on the individual GPU. So let's take a quick look at this picture. So you can see the naked PCB of the GTX 1080Ti Hall of Fame, and on the top you can see the 3 8-pin PCI Express connectors. One thing I often read in the internet is the fact that whenever you have more PCI Express connectors, the card will consume more power. That's absolutely not true. It just allows the card to consume more power. But I'm pretty sure that this card has the same power limit than any other GTX 1080 Ti, otherwise NVIDIA would for sure not allow GALAX to sell this card. So I'm pretty sure that the power limit is the same, so the power consumption should be the same as any other GTX 1080 Ti. It only allows us extreme overclockers to push this card even further. So for example, if we put our LN2 cooling on there and we have this special software to access the GPU voltage controller, and we push from like 1 volt to maybe 1.3, 1.4 volt, for sure, then the card consumes a lot more power. Then it would make sense to have more power connectors. But for air or water overclocking, it really does not matter if you have 2 8-pin connectors or 3 8-pin connectors. Also, the power consumption will not change. If you're currently considering to buy a GTX 1080 Ti, obviously this card will be a good choice, but also consider all the other cards on the market, because most of them will clock the same. You will always hit the same 2 or 2.1 GHz limit on all the cards, because that's just the Pascal clock limit. So yeah, let me know what you think about the card in the comments, and I wish you have a very good weekend and see you soon.